Do you actually show your cat that you love them every single day? Most people would say yes without even thinking about it. You feed them. You pet them. You buy them toys. And sometimes you even talk to them like they're a tiny little baby. In your mind, all of those things mean one simple message: I love you. But here's something most cat owners never realize. Many of the ways humans show love mean almost nothing to a cat. In fact, some of the things people do every day, believing they are being caring and affectionate, can quietly make their cats feel confused, pressured, or even slightly unsafe. Cats experience the world very differently than we do. They don't measure love through the same gestures humans use. Instead, they read tiny signals, small behaviors, and subtle patterns of trust. To a cat, love is not loud, dramatic, or obvious. Love is quiet, slow, and deeply instinctive. And when you understand how cats actually interpret affection, something incredible happens. The bond between you and your cat becomes stronger than most people ever experience. Because when a cat truly trusts you, they don't just live with you, they choose you. Have you ever noticed how your voice changes the second you talk to your cat? One moment you sound completely normal, and the next moment your voice suddenly becomes softer, higher, almost like you're talking to a tiny baby. Many cat owners feel a little embarrassed about it. You might even laugh and think, why am I talking like this? But here's the surprising truth. Your cat actually understands that tone far better than your normal speaking voice. In 2022, researchers at the University of Paris conducted a fascinating study on how cats respond to human voices. They discovered that cats could easily recognize the voice of their owner compared to a stranger. But something even more interesting happened during the experiment. When owners spoke in their regular adult voice, most cats barely reacted. However, the moment those same owners switched to a softer, higher-pitched tone, the kind people naturally use with babies or pets, the cats immediately responded. Their ears turned, their heads lifted, and many of them even walked toward the sound. That gentle, affectionate tone signals something important in the language of animals: safety. It tells your cat that the person speaking is not a threat. So the next time you pass your cat in the hallway, fill their food bowl, or catch them quietly watching you from across the room, don't stay silent. Speak to them softly, because to your cat, that warm voice doesn't just sound nice, it feels like home. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you from across the room and then slowly closing their eyes for just a moment? Most people assume their cat is sleepy or simply relaxing, but that tiny gesture is actually one of the clearest signals of trust a cat can give. That slow blink is not random. It's intentional communication. In 2020, researchers at the University of Sussex studied this exact behavior and discovered something fascinating. When humans slowly blinked at cats, the cats were significantly more likely to blink back and even walk toward the person. What makes this so interesting is how cats interpret eye contact. In the animal world, staring directly at another creature without blinking is often seen as a challenge or a threat. But a slow blink sends the opposite message. It tells the other animal, I'm relaxed. I'm not dangerous. So, when your cat slowly blinks at you, they're essentially saying, I feel safe with you. And the beautiful part is that you can respond in the same language. The next time your cat looks at you, soften your eyes and slowly blink back. Hold it for just a second. Then relax your gaze. It only takes about 3 seconds. But to your cat, it means everything. Because in their world, trust isn't shouted. Trust is whispered through the smallest signals. Have you ever waved a toy in front of your cat, expecting them to pounce, only to watch them stare at it like you're doing something slightly embarrassing? Many owners assume their cat is lazy, uninterested, or simply in a bad mood. But the real reason is usually much simpler. Your cat isn't bored with the toy. They're bored with the way it moves. Cats are natural hunters. For thousands of years, their brains have been wired for a very specific sequence: stalk, chase, pounce, capture. That hunting pattern is deeply embedded in their instincts. When a toy simply shakes back and forth in the same spot at the same speed, it doesn't resemble prey at all. Imagine a mouse that never tries to escape or hide. It wouldn't feel real. Instead, try moving the toy the way a small animal would behave. Drag it away from your cat rather than toward them. Let it disappear behind a chair or the corner of a wall. Pause for a moment, then make it dart suddenly. Unpredictable movement is what activates your cat's hunting brain. When you see your cat crouch low to the ground, pupils wide and body completely focused, something powerful has switched on inside them. And when your cat finally catches the prey, the satisfaction they feel doesn't just come from play. It comes from fulfilling an instinct they were born with. What if the most powerful thing you could do for your cat today required absolutely no effort at all? No toys, no treats, no calling their name, just your quiet presence. Most cat owners believe bonding with their cat means actively doing something, petting them, playing with them, or trying to get their attention. So when they sit on the couch and their cat is across the room doing their own thing, it can feel like nothing is happening. But from your cat's perspective, something incredibly important is happening. Your cat is observing you. In the wild, cats only rest near other animals they completely trust. They don't gather in large groups like dogs. Their form of social bonding is much quieter and more subtle. When two cats share the same space peacefully without tension, it means they feel safe enough to relax their guard, and your cat interprets that same signal with you. When you sit nearby without reaching for them, without demanding attention, and without forcing interaction, you're communicating something powerful in cat language. I'm comfortable with you exactly as you are. Over time, if you make this a daily habit, you'll notice something fascinating. The distance between you and your cat slowly begins to shrink. One day, they'll move to the same room. Another day, they'll sit on the same couch. And eventually, without you asking at all, they'll choose to sit right beside you. In the world of cats, being chosen is one of the deepest forms of trust there is. When you walk into a room and see your cat, what's the very first thing you usually do? Most people instinctively reach down and start petting them right away. It feels natural. After all, that's how humans show affection. But in the world of cats, there's a small step that usually happens before any physical contact, and most owners skip it without realizing it. Cats don't experience the world the way humans do. We rely mostly on our eyes. Cats rely first on scent. Their sense of smell is one of the primary ways they identify familiar individuals and determine whether a situation is safe. When two bonded cats greet each other, they almost always start the same way. They move close and gently touch noses or allow each other to smell the face area. It's a quiet exchange of scent information, almost like a handshake. That brief moment tells both cats, I know you. You're safe. Now imagine how it feels from your cat's perspective when a large human hand suddenly appears and starts petting their head without warning. It's not necessarily painful, but it can be startling. The simple solution takes less than 2 seconds. The next time you greet your cat, extend one finger slowly and hold it a few inches from their nose. Let them lean forward and sniff you first. If they gently bump their head or rub their cheek against your hand, that's your cat giving permission to continue. In that moment, the interaction changes completely. You're no longer forcing affection. You're asking for it, and your cat is choosing to accept. Earlier, I mentioned that there's one place on your cat's body that triggers something deeper than voice. Toys. Or even treats. And once you understand this, you may never pet your cat the same way again. When cats form strong social bonds with each other, they often groom one another in a behavior scientists call allo-grooming. But what's fascinating is where they focus their attention. They don't lick randomly across the body. Instead, they concentrate on a very specific area, the base of the head, right between and just behind the ears. That spot is incredibly important in cat social bonding. The reason is simple. It's one of the few places a cat cannot easily reach on their own. Because of that, grooming this area becomes a gesture reserved for individuals they trust deeply. In other words, when one cat grooms that part of another cat's head, it's more than cleaning. It's a sign of family-level trust. And here's the part many people never realize. Humans can trigger a similar bonding response. The next time your cat is relaxed near you, gently stroke the area between the ears and slightly down the back of the head, using slow, light movements. Don't scratch aggressively and don't rush it. Move slowly, almost rhythmically, the way another cat would groom. If you watch closely, you'll often see your cat's eyes soften and slowly close, their body relaxing deeper into the moment. Sometimes their purr will even shift into a slower, deeper vibration. That response isn't just comfort, it's your cat's brain releasing bonding chemicals associated with trust. And in that quiet moment, your cat isn't simply enjoying a pet. They're recognizing you as someone safe enough to share their world with. By now, you might be starting to notice something interesting. None of the things we talked about today require expensive toys, special training, or hours of effort. Most of them take just a few seconds. A soft voice, a slow blink, a quiet moment sitting nearby, a gentle greeting before touching, and a few calm strokes behind the ears. These are tiny actions from a human point of view. But to a cat, they carry enormous meaning. Because cats don't experience love the way people do. They don't need dramatic gestures or constant attention. What they look for instead are signals of safety, patience, and respect. Every small interaction you have with your cat quietly teaches them something about the world around them. It teaches them whether the space they live in is calm or stressful, predictable or chaotic, safe or uncertain. When your cat slowly closes their eyes next to you, when they sit beside you on the couch, or when they gently press their head into your hand, those moments are not random. Those are signs that your cat has decided you are part of their safe world. And for a creature that survives by being cautious, that kind of trust is incredibly powerful. Because when a cat truly trusts you, they aren't just sharing your home, they're sharing their sense of safety with you.